the directing duo Alex and Steffen, and you are watching Eclectic Arts Media.
Yeah, I figured out, so, okay, I could produce this sound. This is so cool.
All right, look here. Hey, this is Alex Story for Cancer Slug. This is Cancer Slug. And you're watching Eclectic Arts Media. See, I said it right.
Going to somewhere like that and playing those places that all those bands that you listen to play.
Hello, beer bowling cards!
Hello, my name is Richard Winslonaker. I play Hercule Poirot at Taproot and Murder on the Links, and you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
And then I'm singing and I'm going, I'm not all by myself anymore.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
I know.
But I find that I have the best fans.
Hello, my name is Kate Yeager, and I play Louise Seeger.
Hi, I'm Cayman Illica, and I play Patsy Cline.
And you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
You're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine because I don't drink tea anyway. I'm a coffee drinker, so it's like whatever, you know.
You know, when you have limited time, you're just like, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go into the woods, I'm gonna film myself.
Aloha, I'm Jake Shimobukuro, and you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
I think I forgot your question, but I went on a different path, but it felt great.
And I need to keep as much hair as possible because, particularly in Hindley Street, no one's got hair. You'd fit right in, Mark.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts Media, based here in Seattle, Washington. And thank you so much for joining me on this Wednesday over here, the 20th of August, 2025. And I'd like to thank Kelly Monroe for joining me this past Monday from France. Kelly and I haven't connected since 2022, so it's really great catching up with her. And she's got a lot of music coming out, and she's back in the acting world. So a lot on the horizon for Kelly for sure. And speaking of which, coming up, the next live streams that I have confirmed for sure are actually tomorrow, mañana. The 21st of August, Thursday. The first one is Tiffany Time is coming back at noon Pacific, which is 2 p.m. Central, where she's located. And Tiffany was a great guest. It was about April 2nd, I believe, is when she first joined me. And so she's going to be coming back to talk about all of her hiking exploits that she has on her YouTube channel. She's got a really fun YouTube channel. And then her private sites, fan sites, no, not private, they're public fan sites, are extremely 180, very super duper spicy stuff. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. And then after that, hopefully you can take a break, have lunch, a snack, whatever, and then come back and join me at 2 p.m. Pacific the same day. Halcon Negro, the luchador, is going to come back and talk about what he has coming up. He's always been a great guest. We did 2 last year, and then he was a surprise guest this year, which worked out really well. So if you're into professional wrestling on any level, and the luchadors have a rich history in Mexican culture, and he's got a couple events coming up this coming weekend here locally. So we're going to be talking about that and everything he's been up to. I also believe he got his college degree last I heard. So we'll see if we can kind of get that out of him. I do have a couple other live streams I'm in the works, talking back and forth with people that most likely will happen next week. If not, then it'll push into the beginning of September. It's going to be Labor Day weekend over here. So a lot of times people just don't have the time. But if you want to know what I do have coming up when it's confirmed, please follow me as Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram. That's where I post everything first, and then some of that information migrates over to other social media platforms. And if this is your first time joining me on my YouTube channel, if you could do me a huge favor, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That's where that's how I get the algorithm kind of paying attention to me. And if you're over on the Twitch side of things, if you could follow me over there, that would be great. And speaking of which, anytime during this live stream or ones that I have in the future, if you want to ask my guests a question and get into the chat, just subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow me on Twitch, and then you should have instant access to that window when you're looking at things. And if you don't want to ask a question or just just listening as you're doing other things, maybe you can bop into the chat and just kind of say where you're connecting from, so I can kind of see, because I see people are watching right now. And that's something that would be kind of fun to kind of know from all different parts of the world who's watching while we're live. And if you're really interested in helping me out, there's a PayPal me and a Venmo link in every live stream that I do. This streaming service costs me money every month, which is actually coming up probably tomorrow, actually. So that's only if you're in a position to do so, but it does help me with the streaming service, helps me upgrade my background, all the equipment that I use, because I am a one-man show over here. All right. I'm very excited about this. If you're tuning in, and I have a feeling that those that are because of the band Hindley Street Country Club that this guest is attached to, I guess you could say. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we're going to talk about some firsts that this guest has distinctions with. My guest today is a world-class musician from Australia. He has been entertaining audiences with his sweet saxophone sounds for many years. He is a part of the horn section with the Hindley Street Country Club. I saw them perform here in Seattle back in February. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Media virtual studio, Mr. Jason McMahon. Hey, Jason.
Hello. Hey, Mark. How you going?
I'm doing really good, sir. How are you?
Very well. Very well. It's
awesome.
A beautiful day here, so happy days, mate. Happy days.
Cool. Yeah, we're still in summer over here, and it's been like close to like 80 degrees, which for me is about where I want it. I don't want it going above that, because then it gets I start sweating. I don't really care for that.
Yeah, this is like the first warmish day we've had in months. So yeah, it's nice. Sun's out. It's a great time.
Okay. And I was curious, as you watched the video montage of your work, a sample of your work, did it bring back any kind of memories or things that made you laugh, or like, oh my God, I can't believe you picked that one?
Yeah, well, you can always pick your own flaws in everything you do, and I don't really listen to that kind of stuff. I don't really like. Yeah, I just don't tend to listen to myself play. So yeah, it's funny.
It's kind of like actors. Most of them don't watch their own movies and TV shows.
Yeah, yeah.
And I see there may have been something that came in here. Hi, Chloe. Thanks for joining us again. And I see that, wow, Chloe has already got Karina, it's good to see you as well. We're going to get to your questions real soon, but I want to kind of talk to Jason about a few things right off the top. Being a saxophone woodwind extraordinaire, how far back do we go? Like, when did you first touch the instrument?
Actually, I was a late bloomer with the saxophone. I started in year 11, so I think I was 16 at the time. So yeah, and it just gelled ever since I picked it up. It was just kind of happened. I played other instruments before that, but yeah, that was kind of the one that I was sold on immediately.
Okay, so that begs the question, and you already kind of mentioned it, that you're playing other instruments before you went to sax as a late bloomer. What other instruments were you playing before? I
was a violinist, was my first instrument. Played that from when I was like 5 up until I picked up the saxophone. I was fairly good at it. I'd like to think so. And I sang a lot as well. I was a singer, like a classical singer. And I owned a clarinet. I wouldn't say I was much of a player of the clarinet at the time, but yeah, I was the owner of one. So yeah, I guess those three primarily.
Okay, and so when you tried out the saxophone when you were like 16 years old, was it just some basic interest, or somebody had one and you started playing with it and it just kind of connected, or how'd that happen?
It's actually a funny story. I was so this must have been the end of year 10. Back in the day when you had those like tiny little MP3 players you know, and they're all different. You know, this is, you know, before the iPod and stuff. So yeah, my mate just loaded up a bunch of jazz basically on one of those little MP3 players, and I was just walking home from school, and yeah, I think something from Michael Brecker just came on that he linked me, or that he downloaded onto the MP3 player, and yeah, literally, I was just walking home and I was like, I reckon I could do that. That was just the thought I had. I was like, yeah, I reckon I could do that. And then later, about a couple of weeks later, my folks were going to America, just on holiday. So the thought was still kind of there in my brain. So I asked my old man, I was just like, if you got any money left after your trip, like, can you buy me a sax? Because obviously it'd be a bit cheaper over there. And yeah, I think he won a little bit of money in Vegas and bought me a saxophone in Vegas, brought it home, and yeah, the rest is history.
Oh, wow. Did you start on an alto or a tenor?
Tenor, straight to tenor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. So it helped that you had the violin background and you had a music background in general, so you could be like reading notes and things of that nature.
Yeah. I could read music and, you know, all of that stuff.
Okay. And since you're like saying that your friend had all the songs on the MP3 player, did you kind of, when you had the tenor, did you start going right into jazz, or you listening to like pop stuff or a mix of things?
Primarily right into jazz, yeah. Or I mean, like, I've always had an interest in like kind of the 80s like fusion kind of stuff. So yeah, but more or less jazz, yeah. I would say I'm a jazz musician, so yeah.
Okay. And then when you're playing the sax, were you taking lessons of any kind, or self-taught at that point?
Yeah. So I had a teacher. So the school I went to was like a special interest music school. So I think like all the music students there, you could get like free lessons from the school. So I was just like, can I use mine as the saxophone for a while, see how that goes?
Okay.
And then but they were group lessons, so that was just kind of to get my I don't know, all my ducks in the row, just to make sure I could hold the instrument correctly, you know, just like all the basic things. And funnily enough, that was Sam Eads, the other trumpet player for Hindley Street. His dad was my first sax teacher.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so it's a small world.
Okay. And I'm just kind of curious, do you still have that sax that your dad bought in Vegas?
No, I don't. No.
I
don't know what happened to that one. I can't think. I've had 3 saxophones, or 3 tenor saxophones in my life.
Okay.
And, so this is Old Faithful. I'll never get rid of her. She's with me for life now.
Okay. Yeah, I was telling you pre-show that when I was in 5th grade, it was one of those things where, hey, there's band starting up, so bring this form home to your parents and, you know, sign up for an instrument. And I don't remember even really having a discussion with my parents. I think it was that someone in our family had a saxophone that I could borrow, basically, so they wouldn't have to rent or buy one.
Yeah.
And so that's what I started with, the alto saxophone in band in 5th grade. And I played it through junior high, so through 9th grade. And then when I jumped to high school, my friends that were in band at that point, they're pretty serious about it when you go to high school. And I was just having fun with it. So I'm like, I think I'm going to bow out of this. And I was playing guitar at that point, playing all this rock and metal stuff. So I'm like, I'm good. I still have an instrument to, you know, get my expression and my anger out. I don't need a sax right now. But I think about the guitar, the first guitar I ever got, I still have that thing. And it was like a cheap knockoff from Korea. That we did a lot of mod work to that thing, but I still have it. And I think that saxophone probably went back to the original owner in our extended family. I think. I'm not actually not positive what happened to that thing, but yeah, it's always kind of interesting if you still have your early instruments and you just have all these memories attached to them and everything when you're trying to figure things out.
I've got my violin somewhere still. I've still got that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to that saxophone. I must have traded it in or something.
All right. Well, hey, let's get to some questions. As again, Chloe and Karina joined us, and at least the one of them, Chloe's kind of talking about some of the things that she really likes that are favorite songs, like Baker Street and The Logical Song and Who Can It Be Now. She's wondering for you, what are some of your favorites
from Hindley Street?
Yeah.
What's that? come on, brain. Sorry, my ADD brain doesn't work sometimes. I can just play it to you. That's easier than trying to remember what it's called. This one. Oh, Dire Straits. Dire Straits tune. That one. I really like that song.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Dire Straits song. So I'm terrible with names of songs, people's names. It's just my brain just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all in those regards.
Fair enough. And
I'll remember the name of that though in about 3 minutes once I've forgotten. So yeah, get ready for that.
I'm curious that, like, let's say when you're presented with any song that's going to have horns on, or particularly have you playing on it, has songs come across you from Constantine where you're like, I don't even know what this song is. Like, I've never even heard of it.
Oh yeah, all the time. Happens all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of music in the world, and I don't think anyone's really expected to know all of it, right? You can't.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it also depends, age and when you grew up and what your influences are, and even like what people are playing around you and that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I was just kind of curious. There must be times when you're getting charts and you're like, I don't know what this is, but I'll check it out, or listen to the original.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, that's just kind of par and parcel of being like a session musician as well. You just kind of get dropped into a session. You're like, all right, cool. What are we doing? What's the genre? What's the vibe? What's the instrumentation? That kind of thing. Just kind of happens.
I see Chloe says your latest trick.
Your latest trick. That's the one. Yep, that's probably one of my favorites that we've recorded. Yeah.
Thanks, Chloe.
Thanks, Chloe.
And I also saw that Karina was asking that you do a great solo on "Call Me Al" in concert. Do you ever want to be more out front more often, or are you happy being in the background with Hindley?
No, I'm happy being in the back, mate. I'd rather let my instrument do the talking than be, out the front doing theatrics. That's for the singers. They can do that.
So is that to say that we won't ever see you like come off the stage and go into the audience like Jordan does?
Probably not, mate. Probably not. It's not my cup of tea. Yeah.
Well, he told a great story. I mean, it wasn't great for him, but it was made for a great story about the time when he went into the audience and this lady put him into a headlock and didn't let him. Yeah. It's like, and then she was also at the meet and greet later and tried to do it again. It's like, what in the world is going on with that person?
The one with Danny got mugged as well. He was, I can't remember where we were. I think we were in the Philippines, and he just went out went out the front, and just everyone's just freaked out, and they've just like basically gone and like grabbed him, and he's like trying to get back to the stage, and he just physically can't. So he's like trying to get the ushers or whatever to just give him some space. Yeah, it's very funny.
Oh, well, maybe you're the smart one then. Stay on the stage.
Stay on stage, man. Yeah, safe. It's safe up there.
It also kind of brings up a question when you have tracks when you're playing with Hindley live that don't require your skill. Are you just hanging off to the side, stage left or stage right, like just drinking, waiting for the next tune when you come back on stage?
It can be. It's hard because you got to concentrate that you actually get back on stage when you need to. So you got to be somewhat aware of what's happening. But B, it's also very boring because it's usually just me by myself, or if it's just a horn section, it's just the three of us just kind of hanging there side stage for 4 or 5 songs, and yeah, especially like when you're doing it a lot and a lot and a lot, sure, I'll watch the band play maybe once or twice, but the 100th time it's just like, oh yeah, I don't need to watch these songs while I'm not playing, so I'll switch off, get on the phone, watch the footy, kind of whatever. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. And like you said, the hard part would be like maybe getting kind of cut up. If you're looking at something on your phone, like, oh crap, they're onto
oh yeah,
that too.
no, it's happened. I've been caught before as well. I hear the start of a song, I'm like, that sounds. Oh no, like I need to be on stage right now. Yeah.
Oh man, I see Chloe was also asking earlier. Besides saxophone, what do you play? I think I've seen you play oboe.
No, I play primarily. So I play all the saxophones. So I've got a soprano sax, an alto sax, a tenor sax, and a baritone sax. And then just like I got one of these. It's like an Iwi. Play like electric saxophone. Got another one, different model. Yeah, primarily just sax. I'm the owner of a clarinet. I don't think I played it in 10, 15 years. Flute, I don't play. I play a bit of whistles, like penny whistles and things like here. Got this on my desk. It's like a beautiful little Irish flute. Yeah, basically just saxophone.
Okay, all right. And I see Chloe was also saying, please sing, Jason, meaning that other members of the band that aren't known to be lead vocalists have also sang at least on one song or one video.
Yeah, no, you don't want that from me. I promise you that. Not anymore, at least, anyway.
How about some background vocals?
Yeah, I could do them.
Okay, all right. I've been mentioning to some of the other bandmates from Hindley about if they could maybe do an a cappella number live only, not for the YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, there's a bunch of lead vocalists, but I bet you other folks like yourself just said you could also do background, so you could also get in there with a harmony and make it that much fuller.
Yeah.
Okay. See, so
most people in the band can sing pretty well. Yeah, I think everyone in the band can pretty much could do it.
Yeah, and that's one of many amazing strengths of the band. I mean, the musicianship's so high, and then there's so many other things that people can do. I mean, you can throw Jordan on the drum kit because that's his main instrument. It's just like there's so many options. It's amazing. And I'm also kind of curious that when you came to the States, was that your first time touring as a musician? Maybe you've been here for pleasure, but was it the first time working here?
No. First time working, yes. First time like officially on a working visa, sure. Yeah, that was my first time working there. In an unofficial capacity, no. I mean, I've been to America quite a few times. I was doing a master's for a very short period of time at Manhattan School of Music, so I had to go over there to audition for that and stuff. But then COVID happened, so I had to do it kind of online, which was a bit weird. Because as you would know, the time difference is not great between Australia and America. But yeah, no, I love America. It's a great place. It was good to come to Seattle. Never been there before, so that was nice.
Okay, and I asked this of the other guests that have been on so far. Were there any particular cities or venues that kind of stuck out in your brain of like, man, I can't believe I'm actually here?
Yeah, I mean, like playing in Times Square in New York was a bit of a trip. Yeah, that was just kind of bizarre, in a good way. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I mean, I love New York. Love that place. Love all the musicians there. I've got quite a few friends that live over there, so yeah, it's nice to just come over and catch up with people, honestly.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. It seemed like everybody had such a great time being over for, like you just said, kind of a multitudes of reasons. Not only playing the shows for the first time maybe here in America with Hindley, but also they had friends or they had even family over in different cities depending on where they were. It was just kind of cool all the way around to be able to do that here, and hopefully you guys get to do that again next year. It sounds like they're trying to plan the things. It sounds like. Yeah,
I don't know I never know what's going on. I just say yes. That's my job. My job is to say yes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the impression I got from everybody else too. It's kind of like they just tell me what's going on. I don't know what's going on until they tell me.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's the vibe.
And I see Chloe is asking, what's your favorite American food? I believe that is.
American food.
Yeah.
Oh, I had in Chicago had the that roll. It's like the French dip or something. Man, that thing was incredible. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, there's an actual name for that where it goes. They dip that whole thing into the au jus basically before they serve it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sandwich is like mind-blowingly good. So yeah, I'd say that. I actually have been thinking about it recently. I want to get it because you just can't get it here. They just don't exist. Yeah.
Okay, that's something I've never had. I've definitely seen Food Network specials and things like that where they show somebody in Chicago and they're always doing pizza for sure, but then they're always eating those sandwiches.
Yeah, those sandwiches are outrageous.
Cool. I'm kind of curious that with your background and getting into the instrument kind of later than maybe some people, did you have certain saxophone players or influences that you were kind of modeling yourself after in your formative years?
Oh, definitely. And I mean, it's still kind of changing. It's forever in evolution. You know, your favorite people tend to, it's fluid in that regard. But yeah, like, back in the day, all I wanted to do was sound like Michael Brecker, and then moved on to I just wanted to sound like Joe Lovano, and then just wanted to sound like Gary Thomas. Yeah, I don't know. It's forever evolving and changing. Yeah.
Okay, and then like you mentioned, you've got all 4 saxes from soprano down to Barry.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's probably different things about each one that you like, but if you had to pick one, like Desert Island had to pick one, which one would you pick and why?
I'd pick my tenor. I just like the sound of it. The sound, yeah, it's a sound thing for me. Yeah.
Okay, and I think most people, like especially the fans that are watching, if they're not musicians, that sweet sound typically comes from the tenor, not all the time, but from someone who's maybe not trained as a musician. They'll say, "Oh, I really like that song," and then you find out, "Oh, yeah, they're playing a tenor on that song."
Yeah, I mean, like timbrally, it's kind of like a cello. It's like a cello as opposed to like a violin. There's just something about the cello that just evokes just certain things that the violin does. And obviously the violin can do things that the cello can't. But yeah, I find that the tenor sax can evoke just more stuff or interesting stuff for me than the other instruments.
Okay, and let's see. Karina's asking, are you in any other bands or projects besides Hindley?
Yeah. I mean, obviously Hindley's been taking up a fair chunk of my time recently. But yeah, so there's this band called the Shaolin Afronauts, which is a fun band. I think we've got like 11 albums, 12 albums out now or something like that. I prominently play baritone saxophone in that band. It's like an Afrobeat band. Yeah, it's like Afrobeat meets kind of like late 80s, like jazz exploration, like free kind of soundscapey stuff, depending on what the project is. That's a really fun band to do. Project wise, I did this project with this really cool singer, Lauren Henderson. It's called Boom Scully. It's kind of like a neo soul kind of vibe. So I produced that EP. So I did most of the production work and like getting the synth sounds and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah, there's probably a load of stuff. I can keep going, but yeah, there is stuff that I've been doing. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of begs the question, because you mentioned doing the production on that recent project. So do you consider yourself somebody that a budding singer-songwriter can come to, and you can handle all the production parts to create a single?
Yeah, I could do that. Absolutely. Whether I want to is another thing. It's a timely process, But yeah, I do enjoy it. I enjoy. It's just like with anything, like sometimes you're in the mood for pizza, and sometimes you're in the mood for pasta, and it's like sometimes I'm in the mood for producing, and sometimes I just want to play the saxophone. Yeah.
It makes sense. It's interesting. I think for fans, it just tells us another side of what you and all the other musicians in Hindley bring to the table, that there's so much in your backgrounds, all of you. The fact that you can produce a track that if you needed to, you could sing background vocals. If you need to pull out the violin and get the rust off, you could still do something like that. That for us, especially over here when we're outside of Australia, I've said this many times on these live streams that we're watching the YouTube channel. Like I'll watch it on my TV, and then I got to see you guys live in February. So we look at you a certain way. Like I'm not going to run into you at a club playing in another outfit or something.
Sure.
It's kind of like, so you kind of had this bigger persona, I guess. But then we also don't know much about any of you. So it was like, let's find out. I know that they're very well-rounded people. They got all kinds of other things they do. And I was just really glad that when I got a chance to, I can tell you the story too. When I got a chance to meet Brad after the Seattle show out in the lobby of the Moore Theater, because you came out as well. And I just remember thinking that I wanted to talk to Brad because I really liked his drumming and I liked some of the other things about him. And luckily he came on, and that's what kind of spiraled the rest of these. So people that are watching this right now, like Karina and Chloe and anybody else, I don't have some conduit to the band. It's not like I just said, hey, can I interview, all the members or whatever? And then they just start, I wish they funneled them through. It's been individually, I've been able to set these things up. So I'm really grateful that Jason's taking the time. But I had talked to Danny and Brad and Jordan and then Con a little bit, and then I really needed to go downstairs where the restrooms are. So I went down, and I remember when I came up, you and Dave were talking to a fan, and then you had just finished, and then you walked away back to the backstage part. And I'm like, oh shit. So,
missed your chance, mate. Yeah.
I did. I'm like, well, either I go downstairs or I might make a mess of myself while I'm trying to talk to both of you, which wouldn't have been very good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, next time I'll make sure that I try to get there. And
hey, we're here now. Happy days.
Yeah, there we go. And we kind of touched on this earlier, but when you're playing or even playing now, I know there's shows coming up in October. What's one of your favorite songs live to play with the band?
I mean, the funny answer is always the last tune of the night, because then you're done. Yeah, it's the encore song is my favorite song of the evening.
Okay. I was trying to think.
No, but I guess serious answer, probably, I don't know, whatever ballad Kat's singing is usually my favorite.
Okay.
I don't know. I just love listening to her sing ballads.
Yeah, I mean her amazing voice. I know, like in Seattle, we got the Whitney Houston song that you solo on and everything, and it sounded amazing. And like I've told other people with my music background, I'm an amateur music background, never professional. I loved seeing you guys live because I'm like, I want to see how much they can pull this stuff off. I think they're going to pull it off really well. And then, based on the backgrounds of all you guys, and then seeing you do it live, and I'm kind of looking at everyone and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't hear any tracks. I just hear pure talent. That's what I hear.
I mean, it is like there are no tracks. It's all us playing live. It differs at times. Like there's some gigs you just kind of you've been up for 5 days because you've been traveling and you just want to go to bed, and you kind of you're phoning it in, or you just don't feel as it feels like work. Sometimes it feels like work, but other times it's like maybe Jordan's he's just on it one night, or Brad's he's and then that kind of inspires you almost, and then you pick up and you get better, and then the whole band kind of lifts, or you get it from the audience as well. If the audience is like really vibing it, that can just really make you want to play better. We're all humans. We all sometimes we just don't want to don't want to go to work. But those times are special.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't remember if I talked about this during one of the other live streams, but I used to play in a duo around town, and we played cover tunes. I was the guitar. I do some background vocals every now and then. If I had enough alcohol in me, I do lead vocals. And then I had my singer, and yeah, some of the times there's like literally just a handful of people there, and for me, I'm just like, hey, just like this is like a rehearsal. Then let's just have fun with it. For my singer, she didn't take it that way. She kind of freaked out that there's nobody here. And I'm like, well, we're going to do our set list, and then eventually some more people will come or whatever. And if they don't, they don't. We're still, doing what we want to do. But I do remember one time we were there, and there's literally two people, and they're over there like on a deck, like way far away from us. And we played Roxanne by the Police, but we did like an acoustic slowed down version of it. And as soon as we finished, we heard And we were like, oh, thank you, over there. And turns out one of the gals' names was Roxanne.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, I remember this is a while back. Yeah, just a mate of mine just called me. Just I think it was like on a Friday or something. He's like, hey man, like what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, not much. Like I've got the weekend off, like blah blah. And he's like, dude, I've got like 6 sets of music over like three different gigs. And so he's a singer, like guitarist. And he's just like, I just can't do it by myself, man. Like I just can't. He's like, I need someone there. Like, can you just come hang out, play your saxophone with me? He's just like, I just can't do it this week, man. Like I just don't want to play by myself for 6 hours straight, or no, 6 hours over a few different gigs. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And we had a great time. The gigs were to basically no one. It was just background music at a pub kind of thing. But yeah, like those gigs are still really fun sometimes. It depends who you're playing with and who you're playing for, and it's very low. There's low stakes for those kind of gigs. It's like no one really gives a shit that you're there, so just have fun with it.
I know exactly what you mean. There's a clip I think somewhere on our old YouTube channel when we were playing. It was like during the summer, so they had this big old door open, and there's a train track outside of this brewery we were playing. And when it was like comedy hour, every time I tried to start singing, that train would do its horn. All you heard was this horn. You couldn't hear me at all. And everyone was laughing in the pub. And so I thought, okay. And then you could hear the train go by. So I started singing again. And then you hear another one. It was like, holy shit. But it was really great because we all thought it was funny. And there was probably like maybe 25 people there at most. So it just loosened everybody up, really, including us. Like you were saying earlier,
music isn't serious. Like we're not doing brain surgery. No one dies when you screw up playing music or it's all good. It's entertainment. That's what it should be. You should be having fun while you're doing it.
I agree. It's like I've told other people, when they have a bad day, somebody dies. And that's not what I do for my professional life with media or anything else. Yeah, it's just like we're just here to have fun. That's why I kept telling my singer, and eventually it should kind of come around. But you're definitely right about the audience, that you could have 5 people there, but they're so fun and they're so into it that then you feel better about it, and then you start playing better. And you could have 500 people there who are just kind of like this, and you're kind of like, this isn't working for us. It feels like you're adversarial.
Yeah, I definitely feel that I make music for myself primarily, like first and foremost. And then if that translates to other people, that's wonderful. Yeah.
And that's, I think, for most artistic people, at least I kind of learned that, that, if you do something for other people and then other people don't like it, what are you left with? Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't want to create something. I don't want to write a song that sounds like what's popular today. And even though I'm like, I don't really like this, but maybe it'll get me more views or more likes or more whatever. And then people are like, no, that thing sucks. Like, oh, shit. That actually brings up a good point. Do you write original material or have anything that you've demoed up or anything floating around out there?
Yeah, I mean, I've written a bunch of like jazz songs and stuff just for I do play a lot of jazz, or I used to play a lot of jazz music. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on people's albums and stuff just sprinkled out there that have my name on it. But as far as pop tunes go, no, I don't really write any pop songs. But yeah. Just like instrumental jazz stuff. Sure, like there's plenty of stuff out there.
Okay. And did you ever have, or do you want to in the future, like have your own, like a jazz trio or something?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out an answer to this question. Yeah, I mean, I love playing jazz. I guess I do technically have a 5-piece band at the moment, but it's more I find jazz it's a very social art form. So yeah, like it's about who you're playing with more than the actual product, because the product itself comes from who you're playing with, not the other way around kind of thing. Like a pop song will always sound like a pop song if you've got 10 different people playing it, but jazz will sound different depending on the individuals in the band. So I really enjoy playing with different people for different things. And So yeah, as far as like having one band, I'd like to think of it as just having a community of people that I can play with that interests me more than just having a band.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And you're right, definitely when it comes to jazz music, that the musicians on the stage or in the corner or wherever they're at, that those are the people that are creating what I'm now hearing over here. And then if you take the piano player out, you take the sax out and place it with somebody else, I'm going to hear something different then.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You take out a sax player and put a different sax player, and it's going to be a completely different sounding gig. Yeah.
Yeah, we have here in Seattle, probably the most known jazz place would be Jazz Alley, which has been there for like 20 plus years. Big 2-level jazz club, very intimate, very swanky at times. And I've been lucky enough to be able to cover some shows there as a photographer and reviewer. And I remember going there, I don't know, maybe it's been longer than 20 years, maybe like 15 years ago. And somebody wasn't going to, I can't remember what that group was, but somebody didn't make it, so they had somebody sub in to help out. And boy, did that set list change in terms of how everything sounded. And then it was like I think it was the piano player that couldn't make it, so they had to get somebody to help out. And I'm like, wow, what a difference this makes. I should have known that, having been in jazz band back in my formative years, but it had been too long. And I'm like, oh, that's right, this is jazz music. It's going to be a little different.
Yeah, everyone, like you can, everyone's just so unique, and especially like strong players, you could line up 5 keyboard players, all very, very good professional jazz musicians, and each of them just sounds completely different. They solo different, their time feels different, even like the way they comp is different, the voicings they choose, it's all very personal. It's a very personal pursuit.
Yeah, and then when like you're saying, everything's going to be very personal. It's going to be very different, each person, how they approach the instrument. And then as you add more people to that mix of your groups, if you have 3, then 4, then 5, it's like there's another element that just changed everything. But that's also part of the fun of it too, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So there's this fusion band that I kind of play with. We've been trying to do it every month here, in like once a month at this pub. And so we used to play together back in like just after high school. So it must have been, I think we've been playing together for 15, 16, 17 years or something. And, everyone's gone off and had their musical careers. And, one person joined the Cirque du Soleil, and someone else became like a guitarist for this prog band. And, like someone had a kid, and, all this stuff, but we're kind of all back in town now. And yeah, so, and we've all written like a whole bunch of kind of like fusion music for that band. And yeah, it was fun. So we had our first gig in years and years and years at the start of this year. And it was just funny, like just playing this old music again with these guys that you've played music, you've played hundreds of gigs with over the years, and just been like, oh, cool. Yep. That feels good. It just feels great,
Well, it's got to be awesome that not only does it feel great, all of you are bringing your own personal life experiences to this now in 2025.
Yeah.
So it adds a whole other dimension to it.
That's always been really fun. Like the gigs have been really fun for that reason as well. Just, like our keyboard player, Dave, just being like, like knowing him from when we were, I guess, a lot greener than we are now. And yeah, he's just monstrous. And it's just like, holy shit, like this is amazing, like, and everyone's bringing just their kind of, I guess, because we're all in our mid 30s now, like gigging, working musicians in our mid 30s. So yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, everyone can hang, everyone can do it. It's great. It's great fun.
Cool. I see Karina's asking about, are you more nervous or excited to be playing for your home crowd soon?
Neither, both. I don't know. I don't really get nervous or excited. I guess I get focused. Like I do want to, I guess, yeah, the most nervous thing is probably the home crowd, because, your folks are there, or, your family's there. And that I hate playing to my family. That's way worse than playing to 5,000 people, 10,000 people, like that's way more nerve wracking for me than any kind of crowd.
Okay. And that's probably the most common thing that I've heard musicians say, that, playing to strangers is so much easier than playing to people that know them, especially family members that
absolutely
know them from way back when.
Yeah.
My mom typically watches a lot of these live streams. I don't know if she's up this late watching this one, but I remember that I'm kind of on the exception on the other side, that when I have people I know, I don't mind it too much. But my mom would be there at this one gig that we were playing at a bottle shop, and it was around Halloween here in October. So she was going around to people that she didn't know and handing out candy to them. And people were like, "Oh, that's so sweet, this little old lady." And I'm kind of like, "Oh my God, Mom, what are you doing?"
Yeah. The secondhand embarrassment.
Yep. I felt like I was, 10 years old again. But at the same time, I mean, it's cool that she's doing it. But it's like, no, just wait till we're done. Or people that we know, at least, or give me some. I didn't even get any. But
yeah, like going back to that lady's question, I guess, like it has a lot to do with preparation as well. Like the saxophone is very easy for me to play. It's the thing I do the most in my life, and it's just the prep. Like it's not hard for me to get up on stage and play pop songs. Like it's really quite enjoyable. Like I wouldn't say I ever get nervous doing that. Yeah.
Okay. What was the last song you listened to while driving?
Ooh. Actually, I can get it up on my phone. It would be on my phone on Spotify. Let's see what the last song I had on Spotify was. Oh, well, Quincy Jones, 100 Ways.
Oh, okay.
I may have been going to a session and I may have been needing to play that song. So I was just listening to it on the way to the session the other day.
That makes sense. You got to do your due diligence.
Yep.
I kind of forgot that when we were doing the earlier part of this interview. How did you first come across with Constantine and getting involved with Hindley? How far back was that?
It was quite early on. I think it was it's within the first 6 months of the project starting. I got a call. I didn't know Con at the time. Con didn't know me. I think he'd just come back from Darwin or wherever he was in the world. And yeah, I've just been on the scene, just playing saxophone, and yeah, just like any musician would know, it's kind of word of mouth. He was like, I need a sax player, and then maybe Brad or someone was just like, oh, get Jace, he's good. And then and then you get the call, and then you do the session, or you do the work, and if they like you, they keep you, and if they don't, they get someone else.
And you mentioned that coming up with names and things is kind of difficult, but do you remember some of those early songs that you recorded with them, like what they were?
No, I think one of them might have been like Reminiscing. I forget who was on that. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, honestly. It's a lot. I mean, it's like it have to be 7 years ago now or something,
Yeah. If you were there like 6 months into the project, that was a while ago.
Yeah. It was a hot minute, that's for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so did that, and then I kind of went touring with, not with Con. I just was in a touring band for a while. And so I didn't do a bunch of stuff with the band just because I was just unavailable. And then, I came back a few years ago, and I was just like, hey, I'm here if you need anyone, if you need any saxophone. He's like, yeah, sure. So yeah, got me back on board.
Okay, well that timing was pretty good, because then that got you on the road to go outside of Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I was already on the road outside of Australia, just with a different group.
Different group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of brings up a question, and maybe you don't know all the particulars, but of the touring band that came to the States and played Brazil and that type of thing, did you have the most experience touring with another band? It sounded like, I think Brad talked about he had toured with other cover bands, but
Brad's got a lot of experience. I guess I do. I think Dave's probably got experience. Kat and Jake have experience. They were on cruise ships for years.
That's right.
Yeah, we've all got our own kind of. We've all paid our dues. We've all done stuff in the past.
Okay, and I also see that Chloe had asked another part of that question about what's your playlist like? So like maybe like not every song, but how far do you jump around from all kinds of different
Oh,
styles and genres?
it's eclectic. It's super eclectic. Let's have a look. I got some Japanese 80s fusion on here. Well, I got Adelaide, a bunch of Adelaide bands on here. And a bunch of just work songs that I need to know for work. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Okay, and just letting fans know if you have a question or a comment for Jason, to please get it into the chat as we're getting closer to winding this down, which is crazy. It just went by like nothing.
Oh, I was so scared. I was like, what do I talk about for an hour? I got nothing to say.
No, you've been doing great, and you have all kinds of wonderful things that's giving us insight into you and also parts of the band, but just more about you, just the whole. I think people, when they watch you play now, they're like, oh, they have this bigger picture of what Jason's like. I know I do now.
Yeah, I'm just a relaxed guy. I just like to play music sometimes. You know, kind of my vibe.
Do you offer lessons, like virtual lessons?
No. Yeah, I don't know. Teaching in me has an interesting relationship. I mean, yes, I could, but it's more. I'd do it very selectively, and I'd want the person to actually do good things with what I have to say, as opposed to just teaching someone for the sake of it. I don't know. That doesn't interest me at all.
That makes sense. A long time ago, back when I had hair, I was a teacher in a public school over here. I didn't teach music or anything, but I did have a guitar club after school on Thursdays, and it was supposed to be just kind of more of a hangout thing because it was related to the school. But I also kind of handpicked the kids that came through because it's like, well, one, hopefully you have an interest in the guitar, so I can teach you something. And then two, if you just want to hang out and also learn something, that's okay. But if you just want to hang out, you can do that anywhere. You don't have to just do that here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of my philosophy as well. It's like, you don't need me to learn how to play the saxophone. There's plenty of people that can do that. If you want to learn some real, really deep stuff that I've thought about a lot, conceptually or whatever over the years, then yeah, absolutely, let's get together and have a hang. That interests me. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that sounds like what I had. And the students, of course, would bring in different songs that they wanted to hear. And sometimes it's like, all right, this is something I have zero interest in, but, I don't want to say no to you because this band can mean everything to you like it did to me when I was, 12 years old and I was way into metal and stuff. I don't want some adult thing where that sucks. I'm going to sit there and try to learn it for you. But I'm also going to try to expose you to some of this other stuff that I think is pretty cool and check it out. And a lot of times they never heard it. A lot of the stuff that I was bringing in, including jazz stuff too. Saying, look, do you hear that sax solo? Let's transpose it to the guitar, or we can do something else. And like, oh, I never thought about that. So don't think in terms of limits. Think in terms of all these other things you can do.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think teaching is one of the most noble professions in the world. I think it's great. Teachers are the backbone of our society, as far as education is concerned. But yeah, not really, not for me. Or at the moment, at least. Anyway, who knows? Yeah.
Right. And like you said, the right student with the right motivation, then you'd be like, yeah, I'll talk to you.
Sure. Yeah.
But Joe below that just wants to do something because you're tied to Hindley or something else, and like, okay, well, that's nice, but why else do you want to learn the instrument? Oh, because I want to be like you. It's like, well, okay, but what else do you? And give me another reason.
Yeah.
What was the last concert that you went to, just in general, that just kind of blew you away anywhere?
It was here. It was what's that Steel Panther?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They came through. It was very funny. Jordan had tickets, and I think it just kind of worked out that they were here. I think it was like a midweek gig, so we were back from touring at the time, and he's like, do you want to come to this? I got a ticket. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, what is it? And he's like, honestly, dude, don't look it up. Just come and And I was like, all right, that sounds fun. Like, I trust you. So yeah, I'd actually heard of the band before, and got there, and it was hilarious. It was great. It was a really, really fun gig, really fun night. Yeah, and I think it was really good for me to go in completely blind. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and yeah, it was just hilarious. It was a great night.
Cool. That's definitely Jordan had the right approach of, you know, like, hey, don't try to look at YouTube or anything else.
Yeah.
Just go in and enjoy it for what you're gonna get. You're gonna experience.
Well, yeah, because you know, I mean, I'm sure like, I do this all the time. If I've bought tickets to a gig, I'll be checking out all that music before the gig. You know, getting myself hyped up and amped for the concert. But I was just like, no, I'm just going to go in completely blind. Don't want to listen to anything. Not going to look it up. Not going to research it. None of that. Just going to go in and see what it's like. See what it's about. I trusted him, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, they're definitely they've played Seattle a lot over the years, and I remember that when I believe it's still Satchel and the vocalist were in their Van Halen tribute band way back, like maybe over 15 years ago, before they formed Steel Panther.
Right.
And yeah, they're all about a good time, and if you got a sense of humor, even better.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need a good sense of humor to appreciate that band. I don't think people that are too stuck up or woke are going to enjoy that music, yeah, or that entertainment at least, yeah.
Yeah, he does some really. I always thought that he should be the guy that would be playing Van Halen licks with Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony when they're doing that kind of pseudo reunion thing, because he's such a Van Halen fan and he can even get his tone when he wants to.
Oh yeah, it's like full hair metal vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But that's cool. I wasn't expecting that. That's the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting the gig either.
And again, if you're a fan and you have anything that you would like to ask Jason, please get it in, or forever hold your peace until maybe we have a future live stream down the road. So I know you don't have any control over this, that, you know, the band's basically on a break till, it sounds like October, playing the shows in Australia. And are you like not some, I think all the bandmates that I've talked to, they're actually enjoying it because you've been on the road so much this year that finally you're kind of back home and can get into a rhythm, kind of do your other things that you want to do?
Yeah, we've been hitting it pretty hard this year, so it is nice to have just a little mid, I guess, like a little staycation at home. This is kind of the holidays, a holiday period. Right.
And then are you someone that's looking forward to 2026 when it sounds like you guys are going to be busy?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of take the work as it comes. You know, it's either busy with this band or busy with something else, or, you know, yeah, the work comes. You know, again, like I guess my job is I just say yes a lot. You know, the phone answers, I'm just like, yeah, if I'm free, I'll do that, whatever that may be. So yeah, I'll always be doing something.
Okay. Having said that, has there ever been something in the past that, you know, a project or something else that was brought to your attention and you're like, you know, I am available, but I'm going to have to pass on that. I'm just not feeling that one.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. I guess more recently than before, but yeah, like I used to do a lot of kind of like wedding gigs. Can be rough. Like I've done a lot of them. Like some of them are great because of the people that you're playing with and stuff. But yeah, some, you know, I've done a lot of wedding gigs where it's just like saxophone and DJ, and they're a slog, man. Like they can be a slog. It's a very lonely gig, you know. Basically just playing with to the radio for 3 hours or whatever it is. Yeah.
I had helped out a little bit with some like fundraising events here where I was playing my guitar to backing tracks, but I'm off in a corner where no one's paying, you know, any attention to me. Yeah. And you're just kind of, people are just wandering by and they're all dressed up and everything. And I'm kind of like, I'm barely even getting paid for this. I'm just standing here. I mean, it's still a gig. I said yes to it, but then like down the road, I'm like, yeah, if this comes my way again, I don't think I want to be doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I'm 36 now, so I guess I would say I'm more of a journeyman saxophonist as opposed to a beginner, like a beginner professional. I'm not in my early 20s having to take every gig because I don't know anyone, don't know the industry, all that kind of stuff. Whereas, there has been points where I've just, you just take every single opportunity to work as possible to just kind of get out there and just do it, get the work experience, all of that, like touring experience. But yeah, I would say now I'm in a position, fortunately, where I can say no to things that I might not be thrilled to get as work.
I just had this conversation with another guest about I'm so fortunate to be in a position as like a concert photographer now that I can say no to pretty much anything. If I don't feel like shooting that show, I'm just not going to do it. Versus the early days, it's like everything. I got to get as many gigs under my belt as I can. But now I've gotten to a point where that this year, I don't know, like every week there's something that's coming like, hey, Mark, do you want to come to the show and shoot it? We'll get you a ticket, get you on the guest list, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, who is this? And I'll listen to the music and I'm like, no, I think I'm going to wait for the next one. And I realize I'm really lucky to be in that position now because I remember what it was like in the old days when I wasn't. But it's like, I'm not amateur hour anymore when it comes to that stuff. So
I mean, like even like tomorrow night, I've got a gig. It's about 200 Ks away. It's a wedding, but like the band are just like a bunch of mates of mine that I haven't seen or played with for a long time. And they're putting us up overnight as well. So it's basically, for me, it's a holiday that I get to hang out with my mates for. So that's going to be really fun. It's going to be a fun gig for me, at least. Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, I guess there's different things that musicians and artists are looking for from any particular work opportunity, and sometimes it's not just the dollars or the exposure or any of that kind of stuff. It's like, I haven't seen these guys in a long time. It would be fun to jam with them again.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, again, like music it's a very social art form, and you can't just make music by yourself. I mean, obviously you can if you're a singer-songwriter or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a group effort when it comes to bands and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've told people all the time, it's great that you record and you can have that ability now with laptops and software and everything and record something in your apartment. But for me, the test is when you get out there and perform live. I want to see you do it live. If it's just you and a guitar, eventually you're going to be working with a bass player or a drummer or a saxophonist or somebody, because it takes your music somewhere else when there's other people to bounce it off of.
Oh yeah, like those Instagram warriors or whatever, like they really annoy me. Like the ones that just, they're playing guitar and it's just absolutely perfect and everything is just insane. And it's like, that's not like, I can hear it. Like I can hear it. Obviously, maybe other people can't, but yeah, it's just like, it really annoys me. It's like, just play live. If you're acting like you're playing live, just play it live. Like who cares?
Yeah, that's where it's at. And obviously everybody in Hindley and everybody else that you jam with, it sounds like, are the same mentality of like, we love music, we love our profession, we love what, all the time we put into everything, and we want to sit there and make music with other people that care about it as much as we do, and still have fun, because that's, like you said, it's a fun thing, it's a personal thing, it's a social thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think music should be imperfect because it's human. Yeah,
I was telling somebody that I'd much rather hear, I think it was actually a musical I was at, and I was saying I'd much rather hear that where the lead character was like a little bit off pitch every now and then, versus someone who's note perfect, because then it's like, it doesn't seem real to me and I can't connect to it as much. Now granted, if it's like that through every character on stage, then there's a bigger issue going on. But everyone else, yeah, you're going to be nervous, or you just have a bad night, or you got a cold going on or something. That shit happens, and so I'd rather have the imperfections that make it better.
Oh yeah, like I've fucked up plenty of times on a gig, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes I get looks like death stares at me, depending on what it is. But yeah, it's show business, baby. It is what it is.
Well, Jason,
just on that point again, it's just like, and I'm not trying to be better than I am at my instrument, like I know my limitations about that kind of stuff. And yeah, like just going back to the whole, like singers that are just completely note perfect because they've just melodized the shit out of something to the point where it doesn't even sound human anymore. It's just like, well, who are you? Like, who is that for? Like, who are you like pulling the wool over people's eyes? It's like, no, you're just pulling the wool over your eyes, like your own eyes. It's like have a really good expectation of what you can do on your instrument.
Yeah, very true. And if you want to get to a certain point that maybe you can't do live, then guess what? You need to practice more.
Yeah, start shedding. Yeah, it'll get there. It will. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this all the time, that if somebody wants to have a laugh, go look at the early interviews I did with live streams back in 2020, because I was not used to this at all. I'm not a tech person either. So, I mean, I knew how to do interviews, but this whole form is like, where do I look? And where's this? There's comments coming in. It's all this other weird shit. But then I'm like, I want to get better at this, so I'm going to keep working at it. I'm going to keep working at it. I'm not going
to. Your starting montage or whatever. I was just like, oh man, I should have picked a cooler backdrop. Or I was just like, this is just my music room. Yeah.
It's all good. It's like we've talked about that. Some people that want to improve will take the time instead of looking for a shortcut. That's the thing that bugs the hell out of me. It's like, you know what? There's a reason why some of these people that maybe you look up to, they're in that position because one, they busted their ass, and then two, they worked really, really hard, but also they made the connections, all these other kind of things that happen, but they didn't sit there and try to figure out, how do I skip around this line and get over here? It doesn't work like that. Not in the long term.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Jason, thank you so much for taking the time today. It was so awesome getting a chance to talk to you and know more about you, and all the fans that came into chat and those that are watching down the road. So we're excited when, at least here in the US, we're excited when Hindley Street comes back. But in the meantime, we'll always be looking on over here on Thursdays for the new video drop and see if you're a part of that particular track. And then you guys have
I never have any idea when what's dropping until it drops. So yeah, maybe. I mean, I've recorded a bunch of stuff recently. I think I've recorded 9 songs. So
okay,
surely something will pop up soon. Yeah.
Maybe one of those will be tomorrow then for us.
Maybe, yeah.
But again, thank you so much for taking the time, Jason. And anytime you want to come back on, I'd love having guests come back. So, but I know you're busy for pretty much the rest of this year, but maybe we'll find a little area in there to maybe promote the US tour whenever that thing actually gets on the books in 2026.
Sure, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good afternoon over there.
Yeah, have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you.
See you, mate. Take care.